Greetings and welcome to Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown, a new upcoming complex RTS city builder that combines management of logistics and population demand as well as real-time combat. Choose the path of a benevolent or tyrannical ruler, expand territory on a global map, and implement trade routes. I've already covered the early game some time ago, so this time we're looking at the mid to end game, as the game received a lot of updates on its way to full release 1.0, such as a visual facelift of vegetation, more customization options for your kingdom, new difficulty settings, and better combat systems on top of various optimization improvements. This is a sponsored video by Playside and Sugalu Entertainment, and I like to show you hands-on gameplay. Don't forget to check out the link in the video description to learn more about it. Alright, finally in the city ourselves, we are once again in Oberth. And yeah, lots has changed. We're in Act 3 now of this game, so the game is divided into several acts that each have their own goals and their own challenges. Right now we're fighting against the kingdom of Nivarias, as far as I understood it, and in that case, yeah, we have our city center here. There it is, the keep. This shan't not fall. Right, if this falls, the game is over basically. It's our most central keep. It's also being protected quite nicely. Surrounding it is a labor houses, our labor district that we have. Around that we have the farmer houses. So these are my most basic tiers of population that we have right now, the farmers and the laborers, right? Both of them produce goods and both of them also consume goods and pay me taxes. Taxes is probably one of those things that we need to tackle soon, as we're quite negative on that. Next in line we have the curators over here. So these are kind of like the scholars. These are the ones that live in a special district surrounded by beautiful gardens here, like the Gardens of Bliss. They also cost me something, of course, and they can talk and drink wine here. Well, actually not, because wine they don't have yet, but they have it as a need. So this is something we need to tackle soon. They are also providing, once again, taxes, more so than, for example, the farmers, and they provide also more goods and services again to my city. Around them, as we can see, we have a giant wall, and this wall is protecting the city itself. A beautiful wall, isn't it? And it looks like it's made of marble, and it's a stone wall though, and this stone wall is protecting us against bandits and also other kingdoms. In the middle, we have then our army, quite sizable already, with a nice mythical creature as our stalwart protector here, the Lynx Beast, that is doing a lot of damage by itself. Really neat looking. And yeah, well, we're waiting right now with the army, because right now I would like to focus real quick on my city building, and there's a whole bunch of things to understand here right now. So we got the 3 different tiers here right now that we are supplying here with goods, right? But the city itself cannot provide all the goods required. So for example, my laborers here require fish. We don't have a fish production in the city itself. For this we have outposts, we have other camps. So if you watch my first video, you know that there's lots of different territories in this game on a global map that we have here, right? So there's the big kingdom of Urmaxa. That is my adversary, more or less, for Act 3. And in this case here, we got lots of empty territory over there as well. And then we also got some neutral territories, right? And in the middle, it's us. And we have already 2 territories in addition. That's more than new down there, because it has nice, rare minerals. And we got Beerfeld over here that has fish, because it's situated by the water. So this is not just decoration, right? This is actual water. If we zoom in now, we can see this. There it is. And over here we got now our fishing docks. The fish then is being brought to my trading all the way down here. And from my trading hut, we do have outbound caravans. There they are, delivering the fish to my capital. So it's like in other games where you have different islands, for example, like in Anno, and they're transporting now the resources back and forth. That's a really neat mechanic, I think. And what I would like to do here right away is, while we're in this area, is that we produce a bit more fish, right? Because right now, my main problem is that we are lacking a bit of fish. So let's just see if we can squeeze it in here. It's getting a bit tight, as we can see. So I cannot build any further up here. So I need to build it a bit further down. Here we have the rocks in between. And then I would like to go ahead with another fishing dock over there. Let's also build me a road. It's nighttime again. So we have a very good organic day and night cycle. That also comes into play, of course. Right now, it's in the middle of the night on day 75. Alright, so the fish is being expanded. I would like to move back to my capital right away. I just love how seamless it is, by the way, that we can just move around here. Beautiful. And we continue with a bit of city building. So here's my labor district, and I would like to continue with that because those laborers are paying me a nice amount of money, right? And I want to get my taxes in line. So let's continue going all the way over here, and then I would like to continue with those rows. So we got every district, by the way, needs 3 major base buildings, right? That's the food store, that's the stockpile, and that's a well. If you don't have that, don't even try to build something there. Those people will be angry otherwise. So here, I think by the look of it, we should be able to build another full row of labor houses. And I would also like to add a bunch more labor houses here to make the whole thing a bit more dense. And let's also add that. The thing is, we need more laborers. We have a low unemployment rate. Also, by the way, farmers, 0 unemployment rate. And we need farmers. So this is my next goal because we want to provide more goods, especially the wine. Alright, that's coming along. And as you can see, the houses are being built then right away. Also beautifully detailed construction for every building in this game. Getting an event coming in. A wild Rookus has drawn you away from his slumber that you might deal with those at the source. Before you stand Duke Stanton and Chancellor Declan. Behind them a visibly annoyed and exhausted Sir Hayward. So there is my advisors, right? And they're always talking with each other in conflict, and we are in the middle of it. The Chancellor is scuffed and scratched and struggles between a stubborn desire to speak and a refusal to meet your gaze. So, what happened? Behold the 2 darlings of our fair Curia, neither of whom can hold their tongue, once drowned in too much drink. Seldom a dull moment with these two, the pair seem forever at odds. Poor Hayward, the only thing standing between them. Okay, what is it this time? Nothing so tried, your eminence. We're dealing with matters of station. The tavern keeper, he refused me a drink. And then, all majesty, then... The chancellor attempts to approach you, but nearly falls flat on his face. Why, thank you, Sir Hayward. Gentlemen, I long for sleep. What's the real issue here? The Duke said he'd have the tavern keeper's head for disrespecting the nobility. When did you last respect the peasantry? You turn your nose up and down. Donovan! How dare you, wretch? You're but a noble within the walls of this throne room. Alright, I'll not heed the idle ramblings of drunken fools. So I would basically insult them both, right? So perhaps they focus then on me. I could also side with either one of them, right? So this is also throughout the game, where you basically have to make choices in these storylines. So let's actually insult them both. Please see the Duke and Chancellor safely brought to their chambers and sealed within them. Have a guard, keep watch of each. Of course, your highness. Next time, just put them in a couple of cells. Alright, with this the event was completed. Sometimes you get also nice rewards out of that. This time, rather not. All the layer houses have been built in the meantime, so this district continues. We're still also maximizing our yield here of the surrounding area. I think we still have some room that we can spare here. For another 2 buildings. Very nice. And as you can see, my taxes are already improving. Let's also go for the farmers real quick. And continue with some buildings over here we can still add. Without the need of any additional storage building or something. And immediately more farmers and more laborers join the kingdom. And with that, more taxpayers. Oh no, Caravan 5 was destroyed. We have a bandit attack coming in. No, actually, it's not a bandit, right? It's the Kingdom of Varaxia attacking us right now. Let's use my soldiers there as well. We also have archers on the walls. Ah, and there it is. My beauty. Make sure that we are not losing it, right? It's really under attack. But it can attack a lot of soldiers at the same time. Perfect. Get outside here and attack them outside. Okay, something else was destroyed. Jennifer Puro was destroyed by aim and glass. There you go. Okay, but we almost lost this tower there. Was a close one. So the kingdom is under attack once again. It was from where Maxera, of course, over here, right? Can we see this? Because it looks pretty epic. There it is. Look at this fortress here. So this would be one of the major goals to destroy. And it is massive, right? This is one of the big opponents. And they also have a smaller village down here, and they're not particularly happy by the look of it. I'm also not particularly happy because there has there spawned a new barbarian camp, the Grimrod camp. Level 1 barbarians, they would give me 500 coin. The next attack is on the capital if we're not doing something about them. And once again, we can seamlessly zoom in. And this is where the soldiers are also coming out from, attacking. Then especially also here, my caravans, right? That are traveling here for the trading. So it's very important that we take care of this. Let's take my whole army. Only the whole army is good enough for these. I want to play it safe, really. And we're going to move them over here and then start the attack. What I like as well is you can group these together into control groups, right? And then just click on them and get them up, like in Age of Empires, for example. So we've got all the features that you want out of an RTS. We also have different formations that we can set them to. And also different formations that we can set here right away with the waypoint as well. Pretty cool. What is this? There's a single soldier coming in from the kingdom. We got our soldiers over here though, so let's take care of this guy. The Gaul, you know? Attacking alone. Rush forward. Against the single archer. Whatever, he's trying to keep the pressure up, I think. Now, we are close to the bandit camp. Let's attack this one. Before they attack, there's already someone that spawned as well. Gonna take some time. And once this is finished, we're getting some money out of this, and the camp has been destroyed again. Very good. And with that, this area is secure. Let's get the soldiers back somewhere here. Not too far away though, because you never really know when the next attack is coming in. It's also time to work on my next production chain. For this, I would like to move a bit further up here. There's, by the way, my caravan here. Is that right? Yes, this is my caravan. With that, we could, for example, trade a few more things. Let's get it out of the way. And let's start, because for my next production, the wine, we need to have two tiers working together here. The first one is the farmers, and we now have some farmers again that I can use. And there's the vineyard for this, right? And the vineyard, we're then gonna place in here. Okay, we're being interrupted because we're under attack and we have riots right here now. So the farmers in Oberth are staging a revolt due to this unrest. Production is reduced by 50%. That's my northernmost territory, Oberth. There it is, and there we have the riots now. So what's really the matter here? It seems like some things have not been working out anymore, so we have no firewood. That's probably what's causing this. So the more territories we have, yeah, well, the more chaotic it can become, because there's so much to do. There's also an attack at the same time all the way down here in Mordenu, right? This one's under attack once again by that kingdom of ours, the enemy kingdom. Like us, we do have a guard tower here that already protected us against this. This is where my quarries are, by the way. So that's very important to protect all the way. So the easiest way of doing this here right away is, since we actually do have a high unemployment rate. I could also create a new trade route getting the firewood over, but I think it's safer to just get the firewood in. Let's get us one of the fire cutters down, so we have to stockpile right here. We could also upgrade, by the way, to a real stockpile, which I'm probably gonna do, since for such a smaller town that's more feasible. It's also looking nicer overall. That is that. Also, we probably should provide some apples. Is that right? Yes, some apples are needed. So for this, we can have an orchard. Problem with that is, this is not available in the province, right? There's no, apple fertility. So I really will need to create a trade route for this. Got the trader hut already going. So this one here takes in now the apples. Then it can, by the way, provide fish, because we do have fish fertility up there. So there is a way to make this useful again for us. Firewood production started now. Okay, we should also have a look at the Tome of Knowledge, because this is our general research tree, and as you can see, there is a lot of stuff going on. So we started with the tier 1, moved to the tier 2, and now we're kind of like in tier 3, and also tier 4 bonuses here, right? So this gives me, for example, the trading post for the curators that we can have, and here we can improve our cavalry. I would like to start with my swordsmen. We got quite a lot of them, and increasing their attack speed by 10% sounds like a very good idea. So let's go ahead and do this one, and that we're researching now, right? Gonna take some time. We can also, for example, increase the town's health. We can improve the fishing docks. What I can see is we can also increase our vaults, and with our storage houses, labor house bonus, we're getting more bonuses out of a labor house. So let's just check it out. Decrease the risk of fire. Happiness of laborers is increased by 5, but each home has 100% cost increase. That's okay, because the cost is still very cheap. So this might be another usable upgrade for us here. Okay, I was talking about the grapes. We need a new territory because I don't have any territory right now that gives me grapes, right? Oh, by the way, this one came back again. So once again, my soldiers have something to do. And I need to find a territory that has grapes. There's not a lot of them, unfortunately, right? So Usmana here has grape fertility together with cider, or with apples, wheat, fish, and some natural resources. So what we need to do here is, in this very dark territory, sending a caravan over, fully packed with resources and farmers, right? So I've sent this over from the main city, and here we can now deploy it, and we can then build something out of that. Oh, by the way, also the Vagabond returns. A recent Grimrod attack was quickly thwarted by your soldiers. Before you, they bring a young man whose face, though aged, seems quite familiar. Though he's covered in blood and mud, you have not forgotten him. He's that young man caught trailing your caravan when you first arrived in Nizamor. I recall you, the one who tried to sneak his way into our kingdom. The young man barely acknowledges your words. This time, it's his time with the Grimrod has brought out a feralness in him. You can't take that which isn't yours to take. You could have asked, but it seems you're still without a voice. One of the guards steps in that he might inform you of an unusual fact. Though the youth seems quite defiant, his behavior in the fray was very curious. He would kill none and actually prevented those Grimrod nearest to him from killing. Okay, curious. You spared their lives and found your way back to us. We can't assume this was done with ill intent. And the words soften the young man's stance. The kindness of them seems to lessen his fear and aggression. He wants his chance. Earn your place here, young man. And with that, we get a farmer. For the first time, you think you catch the hint of a smile on his face. Who knows what struggles he has faced. And if he can adapt to your kingdom's ways, he will find himself well cared for his new home. How nice. Okay, back again to our caravan. Let's build the trader hut. This is what we need to start with, because this opens up then the claiming of the territory, right? I actually moved down here because this is closer. This also has the grapes. It's closer to us. And now what we can do here is start a whole new village, basically from nothing, right? And you need to do this for every island, basically, where you have then, you know, some fertility that you might need. So we have the primitive stockpile. We got the food store. That we need then for the villagers. We got a well here, so I'm just starting with all the basics, right? We definitely will need, for every building that we start with, a miner camp for iron ore, a logger camp, a quarrier camp. So this is where we basically start with some basic collection for wood and for stone, right? We'll speed up time here a bit, as this whole thing is now starting to work. We're still, of course, also gonna need some home for all of them, and also a firewood chopper. There you go. And then some basic houses. Gonna have the first row here. Shouldn't forget that we are also gonna need some service building then for later. Some room for this. There you need to plan carefully. Alright, this is now under construction, and in this area we have then the opportunity of getting us the vineyard done, right? So since we have, some basic farmers already, I would like to start with the vineyard then as well. Let's have this one closer to the whole area up there. And with that we can now also then start to produce grapes finally that we're gonna need. Each territory has its own jobs, right? Its own job overview where we can set the priorities. So in this case here, the quarry camp, the logger camp, primitive stockpile, food stockpile. These are taking the highest priorities together with the well and the wood chopper, right? Because we definitely want to have that. I don't want to have too many people though employed here. So I'm going to reduce this for the wood and for the stone by half at least. Because I still want to have workforce available for something else. There's my wood choppers now. 3 is way too much, so I'm going to reduce this. We have the primitive stockpile, 2 are enough for this, and we have the food store, 2 are enough for this, so that we have some room here for some farmers then in the vineyard. Most of them should have a home now, by the way, so we built them. And there it is, the first grapes are being produced now by my, well, farmers. Now, what we can do here now is once again start a new trade route then. Very important that we do this. for this territory here alone. So I'm gonna start me a new trade route. And this one, trade route number 7, is gonna have Dreydeno as my new trader hut. So we have the trader hut as a baseline, right, building. So we always have that basically. And then Oberth, of course. And we're gonna say now, send over perhaps some cloth, right, because these people will probably not produce it themselves. And we're gonna send back to Oberth the grapes. Swordsman upgrade research has been finished in the meantime. Finally, by the way, we are also positive on the taxes, so all the expansion was worth it. We're gonna add caravan number 8 that we just built, that is also available, and with that we can now accept the trade route. Oh, duplicate trade route name. Alright. Let's make it grapes, because we really just need that for the moment, right? And with that we can go back to Oberth, where the grapes are coming in now. And we can now finally add the building that we still need, the winery. And the winery will then make wine with that and the grapes. This is a building that is required by the curators, so I probably would like to have it a bit further up here. We already have a nice industry zone here, and there is then basically my winery, in fact producing then wine for my people. I would like to do something fun, and that is going to the offense and attacking. For this we need to use this bridge here. Hope it is well built, because right here is the enemy, the Ottomer. And let's go in. Up here, there we have them. Oh, it's actually quite a lot of them. We'll just see if we can tackle them. The tower is destroyed. We do have lots of cavalry, that's our advantage here. There's a second guard tower though. Down as well. Let's take care of this one. I think, yeah, with that we can clear this territory here of the enemy. Of course, that was him taken by surprise, right? So he will definitely retaliate. But for now though, we should be golden. There you go. Let's destroy the remaining buildings here. And with that, we have cleared this territory of the enemy. Very good. One step towards destroying the kingdom. Okay, another thing we can do is upgrading the farmhouses. I would like to do this, and this counts for all the farmhouses we had so far, and they increase the happiness, but they also cost 100% more resources if we build them again. Not a big deal, right? Because they're dirt cheap anyway, so let's start with this as well. The mastery points that we have, we got the wise work here. So this is something you get out of rewards, right? Out of your major quest lines and stuff like that. And for this, for example, we have here production bonus of 5% that we can also take in and even get an achievement out of that. Nice. So if you're one of those achievement hunters, the game also offers plenty of achievements to chase. The game also has a ridiculous amount of ornaments that we can add, like flower beds and stuff like that. And even benches that we can add just here by the roads, right, for people to enjoy. Everything costs though, and everything needs to be built, so it can't be placed instantly, right? Also a nice fountain here, just across the other one, where we can also have then our new district. We can also just add more trees overall, so if I feel like we don't have enough trees, in all different kind of shapes and colors. Smaller trees. There you go. Looks much better with trees right away. One thing I also have to say is, despite being such a big city, we have a very good and smooth performance. So there's not that many stutters or anything like that, and everything is very responsive all the way here to the end. That's really cool. The mechanics are also pretty complicated with my curators here. For example, I need to get the aqua lift, where it pulls water from the ground, gets it on a viaduct or aqueduct, sorry, on an aqueduct, and the aqueduct delivers that then, for example, to the foundry that requires water, but also to the bathhouses here that require the water, right? And only then does it work, and only then does it provide the bathhouse service to my curators, for example, and only then they're happy and paying enough taxes. So since here we have the bathhouse that is activated, we can also add now more curators, more scholars as well, to this whole area here. It's not the scholars, sorry, it's the curators, of course. And I definitely want to do this because they just provide a lot of taxes in comparison. Gonna take some time, and they will also then move in. Happiness is at 99, so that's all fine. And I really love how every population looks different, right? So you can clearly see where you have the farmers, where you have the workers, where you have the curators, and where you have the scholars, and so on. Okay, regarding decorations, it's worth noting that we have a bunch more options available here, as especially in the later game, the game really offers a lot of these. So we've already looked at the bathhouse, one of the more complex buildings that you can have because it needs the aqueducts here delivering the water, and for the curators especially, we do have a whole bunch of other beautiful buildings like this one here, the theater for example. I'm a huge fan of how this looks, and this is adding then entertainment to my citizens, well, to my curators that are living close by. So let's also get this one going. We got a pony ride. Isn't that fantastic? Where should we get the pony ride? I think, yeah, somewhere where children can go, right? And where it's also a bit safer. So in this area, we could make a pony ride. Let's just get this one going. We also have these nice statues there. I would definitely like to have one here, overlooking this small area. This is looking fantastic. Beautiful statues there. We have a hatch maze. I also like this one here a lot. Go ahead. This is like, you can make a play park out of this, right? So you have that all these different ones. A graveyard, perhaps a bit further here in the back of my district. Then you can have street lamps to decorate your streets along the way. This is then also illuminating the streets during nighttime. So that looks fantastic as well. Look at that. There's already a customer. Exciting. Of course, the fountain, that's also something that's pretty cute. So we can have one here where people can sit and just enjoy the water park. So lots of different decorations, also flagpole here for decoration purposes, for representative purposes, I should say. And we can also have these ones in the district then popping up with our flag. You can also make long hedges like this one here to block off certain parts, right? So there's a whole bunch of systems involved that you can implement to decorate your districts and your cities. Perfect. Back to our conquest. I would like to continue here. There is a huge tower like this one. I think it's a guard tower or something. We definitely should take it. So we got lots of archers. Where's my creature, by the way? Should be somewhere over here. There it is. What are you doing? Relaxing in the sun. Something like that. Put this one back here too. Because we're about to go into Legrio over here. So let's just take this one. And just see how it goes. Definitely will need to... Oh, wait a second. Archers should definitely not go to the front here, please. Yeah. We can also set then, of course, here the patrol. And also the attack formation. I just love my Lynx Beast because it's doing so much damage, especially against buildings. It's like a siege engine that you have. And once you I think once you destroy all the buildings, the territory is yours, or when you destroy all military buildings. Either way, you have these ruins here, so they're rebuilt, right? All the way to the end. So only when you have really gotten rid of all of this, there you go. The territory has been taken like so. Alright, we march forward to the north now, to this area here. Because, yeah, why not? Let's end this episode with a giant conquest towards this territory and then towards the capital. We'll just see how far we get, right, with my troops. Okay, so let's move in again. I've actually put the archers into a secondary group because they always tend to go to the front. And with that, let's attack the tower again first because it's shooting back at us. There's also something there. Pretty special units there. Weren't so special after all. Okay, gonna take care of this one again. This one. And then the tower. And I think that's it for here then. Nice, alright. Now we move to the capital. Entrance is here, right? Ooh, oh my goodness. Why not? Let's have some fun. Let's still try it. Alright, here we are. At the capital. Let's just see how far we get. It's really just for fun. And we're already attacking the orchards. That's the first step. Holy cow, what is this? What kind of magical tower are these? Machine gun archery or something like that. I think we would need Bandit Attack for this to work. Let's retreat immediately. That wasn't particularly nice on this one here. So that's Thrive for you. We will have a lot of stuff ahead of us and need to build an army. Look at the size of these guys here. That's quite the army waiting here. And if we want to tackle them, we need a bigger army, that is. And more creatures, hopefully. Don't forget to check out the link in the description to learn more about this. Stay tuned.